In this video, I'm going to be showing you my entire pen collection as of April 2025. Blake here with Blake's Broadcast. On this channel, I review fountain pens, paper, and ink, and as always, I put links in the show notes in the description below. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps out my channel. Alright, let's get on to the video. Before we get into the collection, I just want to talk briefly about collecting fountain pens. Now, there is no right or wrong way to do that, and I'm just talking about my feelings as of today. My fountain pen collection in the last 5 years has grown a lot with my business, the Paper Mind, and with this channel. Love the pens that I have, but I don't feel like I'm getting more enjoyment out of my collection than 10 years ago when I had, 15 or 20 pens. To enjoy fountain pens, to be part of the community, you really only need one pen, and it doesn't need to be very expensive. This Lamy Vista with a 1.9mm stub nib is one of my absolute favorite pens. I have pens that cost many times more than this, but this is plenty. You do not need more than a simple fountain pen to enjoy this. And when I think about collecting, as my collection has gotten bigger, it's more of a headache, to be honest. I enjoy all of my pens, but I also think about them a lot more, and I think, oh, when was the last time I used that? Do I need to get to using this now? Where 10 years ago when I had maybe 15 or 20 pens, which was still a lot, the enjoyment was the same or maybe more because there was less work to it. I could just get to what I really love fountain pens for, which is, journaling, thinking sort of out loud on the page. Just really, I find therapeutic and helpful for, decision making and keeping on track with, how I want my life to be. So I get an incredible value out of fountain pens, but I don't want someone to see this collection and think, oh, I need to get more fountain pens to enjoy fountain pens. Don't do that. I know when I watch videos of other people's collections, Style of Zug, I'm blanking on his name, does these like collector videos, which are really excellent. They're great videos. I know for me, when I see that stuff, I think about buying them, and I'm like, adding a new pen isn't going to do anything for my enjoyment of fountain pens. You're going to get a little hit of dopamine and then it's going to be gone, but the money will be spent. I will also say fountain pens are not a good investment. Now, there are pens like Dunhill Namikis, and there are some very limited edition Montblancs that do go up in value, but collecting, I always like to think of these things as consumption. What's right for you may be totally different, but it's consumption. I also think, from being someone that likes watches, that likes cars, that likes pens, I only collect pens. I do not have a car. I have some nice watches, but I can't afford to collect them. But I know people that do, and being around collectors, to me, the coolest car, the coolest watch is the one that gets used. So, a car that has 1,000 miles on it after 20 years, that's not cool to me. If you have a really cool car that's got 100,000 miles, that's awesome. If you've got a really nice watch that you have worn every day for 10 years, that has a patina, that's developed a history with you, that's really, really cool. And when you start buying lots and lots of pens or watches or cars, you can't use them as much. Every one you add to your collection takes away from the use that you get out of what you already have. So if I have 100 pens, I don't know, I haven't counted them, but if I do and I want to use them equally throughout the year, what is that? 3.65 days out of the year for each pen? I don't love that, but I enjoy my pens. Just something to think about. What I don't want you to do is go out and buy a pen from watching this kind of ridiculous collection I have. I love it. It's precious to me, but sometimes it does feel like a lot, and I don't want this to be like to influence people to buy pens. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Okay, let's get to it. This is the top of my pen case here. This is where I put my mostly pure sterling silver pens. Typically, I like to keep my pens in the dark. The sterling silver ones don't matter as much, but I do keep something over the glass still to protect them, especially this pen because this is celluloid. It just doesn't fit in a normal pen case. So on the left, I have the Monte Grappa Imperial Dragon limited edition fountain pen. This is a very cool pen. I am Year of the Dragon, so I kind of wanted a dragon pen, and when Atlas had this for 60% off, I went for it. It has a engraving on it. That's their 6-axis laser machine, and it has a red ruby in there. It's a very nice pen, relatively new to me. Also relatively new to me is the Monte Grappa Pirates pen. This is just a crazy pen, which I think we've seen before on my inked pens video. One of the most detailed, actually, of the Monte Grappa pens that I've seen. Very nice writer, very nice nib on this pen. And then this is a Yarda lead. It's kind of a Franken Yarda lead that came from an estate sale. I got a very good price on it, actually from Penshetta in Scottsdale. But the cap and the body do not match. In fact, this is from, I believe, 98 based on the year Y. And this is from 2000 on Z. But it has a really nice nib. Everything fits together well. So even though they're from two different pens, I think it still looks really, really nice. Then I have a Yarda lead Grand Victorian. This pen is only 4 or 5 years old. Actually, I don't know, is it that old? It's a V stamp on it. Very, very nice pen. It's interesting to see some of like the differences, 20 years later. The clip is slightly different. These old ones said made in England. This doesn't, but it is, of course, made in England. Just some nice differences there. And then this is the Pilot Silverin Tsumugi, which is one of my favorite Pilot fountain pens. Really nice integrated 18 karat gold nib. And then we have the Platinum 3776. This has a hammered sterling finish and a unusual platinum nib. So that's it for the sterling silver. Now I'll move to working on trays here. And so up next I have a bunch of Japanese pens in the next drawer down. And starting at the left here, I have a Pilot. I believe this is called the FK20. This is a very nice maki-e pen. I think it's the only maki-e pen I still have left. Metal body, urushi lacquer, and a very nice soft number 10 nib. Then next I have a Launcher Dream pen. I'm really impressed with this pen. Like the finish of the urushi, I think, is really, really good. I have a Monty Winfield Architect nib here and a BB. This is a fantastic nib. It's really nice to have an urushi pen with a Yovo threaded nib and reasonably priced for urushi. I believe this is like $4.50. And then next I have a Platinum Izumo with a strange Nakata nib here, 18 karat gold, but it's basically a 3776 nib. This is woven bamboo, and then they put a urushi lacquer finish over it, and it's a ebonite body here. Very nice looking pen, very Japanese looking. Then I have a Tasha Fossils in the Sky with the eggshell on here and urushi lacquer. King of Pen nib, very, very nice writer. And then I have a Sailor King of Pen. This is the Iro Miyabi in whatever the green color is called. Medium nib. The newer style nib. Very, very nice writer. I find that the King of Pen nibs do better in fine and medium versus the broad nibs. And then here's one of the pens that I've had the longest. This is a Nakaya Nakai Naguro in Shiro Tamanuri, which is a discontinued finish. I believe Shiro means clear or white, but it just gives you this natural brown color. It's a really nice pen. This was a gift when I had my very first job. This was an insanely expensive pen to me back then. It's still quite a pricey pen. It has the old Nakata nib. John Modishaw really heavily modified this nib to be a soft oblique medium. And then I have a Danny Trio. I can't remember what this is called. It might be a Takumi. It's a cartridge converter. So I know there's one that's the same size. That's an eyedropper, but that's not this one. It has a Bach Danny Trio Fireball nib. This nib is just fantastic. Super, super soft. One of the nicest nibs that I have. Just a nice, good-looking pen with terrible threading. And then I have a Hakase. This pen I've reviewed. I'll put a link to that up in the corner. I can't remember what it's called. Something like 15 CBW or something like that. Solid gold hardware and a 14 karat gold double broad pilot nib that was turned into a cursive italic, although I really think it's more of a stub. This pen is ebony wood. It's made to order. These are really very nice pens. And then next we have some Faber-Castell pens. This is kind of somewhat random. I have too many Italian pens, so they kind of overflow. But here I have a Graf von Faber-Castell Pen of the Year 2021. This is the Knights pen. This is probably the most expensive pen here, at least in terms of the price that I paid for the pens. I think the Montegrappa Pirates is actually technically higher price than this, but I got that for a very deep discount. This pen is just an absolute weapon. I think it's the heaviest pen that I have, but it's still weirdly very nice to write with. It's not super uncomfortable. It looks super cool. It looks like a weapon on my desk. I really love it. And then I have a Graf von Faber-Castell Elemento, which was a limited edition for their 250th anniversary. And I have a Graf von Faber-Castell Intuition Platina Wood. Both of these, actually all three of these pens have the same size Magnum nib. The Pen of the Year nib is branded for Pen of the Year, but otherwise they're pretty much the same. And then next I have a Cartier, Louis Cartier in composite. I have a full set of nibs for these in a red leather Cartier box. I believe there are 5 different nib types. They're threaded. These are really nice pens. I used to have 4 bodies. I'm now down to 2. This one is just currently inked, which is why it's not in here at the moment. And then next I have a Scribo Laudata. This is a pen that I don't know if I'm going to keep, to be 100% honest. It has a triple broad nib. I had Matthew Chen turn it into a stub. It's better now. It needs more time in the collection. This is an old Delta Dolce Vita oversized with a big number 8 nib. This is a Delta Inuit from the Indigenous Peoples collection, and I did actually, the one pen that you're not going to see here because I don't have it yet, is the new Indigenous Peoples pen from Delta. They did an amazing job with it. I'll put a picture of that up on the video just so you can see it. I believe it's called the Simbu, and it was just a wow. As soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, I have to order that. So that'll be my second in the Indigenous People line. The new one has a big number 8 nib. It's so cool. And then next I have a Delta Garibaldi. This is sterling silver, and then it's hand painted. And then the body is resin. Very unusual pen. And then next I have some Germans. Missing one because this one I'm using and is inked. Essentially what we have here is I have a M600 from 1988. This is one of the only pens that I've bought twice, and you know, when I buy a pen twice, that means it's permanent that second time. This has my absolute favorite Pelikan nib. This is the monotone 18 karat gold nib from 1988, specifically for the M600. Just super soft, bouncy nib, really a wow. Then I've got M805 Demonstrator, M805 in dark blue, M910 in red, a wonderful 3OB nib, M1000. I have 2 nibs for this. I have a fine, and then I have a double broad, which I had Michael Masayama turn into a stub. Just phenomenal nibs on these pens. And then here I have what is probably my favorite of the 149 nibs. This is a 149 from the 1960s. It's an oblique double broad. Michael Masayama worked on this. Every time he works on one of these 149s, they never go back in as far. So you can see the 149 actually on the end of the nib there. It does not affect the performance at all. It just makes the nib look bigger, but just probably my favorite of the Montblanc 149s that I have. Really nice. And there's no brass in the piston filling system, so it's very comfortable. And then probably second favorite is the new curved italic 149. The Flex 149 cursive Flex, that's an okay pen. I feel like I have it just because they stopped making it. It is a nice nib. It's just not a wow for me. And then I have a new O3B nib with a platinum trim. Fantastic writer. Really recommend the O3B nib if you can get one. As far as I know, in the 149, the O3B is still a standard nib grade. It is a special order in 146, but in 149, still a normal, non-bespoke nib option. And next, I have a lot of Italian pens here. Stipula, Etruria, Faceted. I did a review of that. That was an Amazon special. And then I have a Stipula in olive wood. This is a Leonardo da Vinci. This was a special, I think it was like maybe 60% off from Atlas Stationers. The modern Stipulas have really, really nice in-house made nibs. I do find that they tend to need some adjustment, but once that is sorted, they are really, really nice. Then I have a Omas Bologna in Burkina celluloid, a Omas Arco celluloid Paragon. This was the Art Italiana line from, I believe this is from 1991. It says that on the grip section. Then I have a Omas Extra Lucians with a extra flexible nib, which needed work. It went to John Modisha at Pacific Pen Works, and he made it even more flexible, and he dug into the feed to make it keep up with the nib. It's a headache, but he did a great job, and now this is a fantastic pen. This is a new Omas Wild Paragon. Had really bad baby's bottom, fixed it. This pen, more than any other celluloid pen, has an extremely strong camphor smell, medicinal smell. Fit and finish on this is so-so, to be honest. They are not, in truth, they are not as nice as the old Omas pens. And clip is a little bit crooked. The nibs, though, are fantastic. I really think that they're as nice, maybe even better in some cases, than the old Omas nibs, at least from like 90s, 80s. These are actually really good. I have that Omas Ajiva cocktail that's in for repair. They told me they're making a new nib for it. It was one of their flex nibs, and the nib wrote really nice. It just would stop writing. But I gave that to them, I think, in January and the end of April, so I don't know when or if I'm getting that back. Next up, this was actually, I believe, my second Montegrappa ever. I went big after getting the first Fortuna at a huge discount. This is the Extra Auto. It's got 8 facets. It's basically the same as their Extra 1930 fountain pen, but it's faceted. I don't think this pen looks as good, especially with like the cap band, as the 1930 Extra, but it's a really nice writer. It's a broad that I had turned into a italic by the Nibsmith. It writes really, really nicely, and the celluloid is very pretty. Up next, I have a Montegrappa Historia. This is a old pen, pre the 1930, so smaller nib, but very much just as luxurious as the 1930, and the Extra Auto. These are all solid celluloid and sterling silver. There's no real plastic parts on them except for the cap liner, which is a Delrin. Here I have a Molteni. This is Omas Blue Lucians, and then there's like a royal blue celluloid on the top. Both of these are Omas celluloids. Now, there is a sleeve in here, which you can see, which I think kind of spoils the look of the blue Arco celluloid. You won't see the ink in here because of that, but it does mean that the celluloid is protected from the ink. Has a really nice writing nib with an ebonite feed. The laser etching on here is really, really rough, so when you ink it, I don't know, ink just gets trapped in the engravings. It's kind of crappy. I don't know who makes this. I don't know if it was Leonardo or if it was somebody else for Pen Family or something like that. But so far the pen has been fine. It's comfortable. The nib writes nicely. Next we have one Montegrappa for some reason. This is the Quattro. It's like a square shaped pen, 18 karat gold nib, really nicely made, just a great kind of everyday pen. Relatively new to me, but it weirdly has a sapphire crystal in the finial. It's a cool pen. And then we have a Aurora Optima Mini. This is just basically a mini Optima. I believe this is the only Aurora with a small nib that's actually threaded. Let me know if I'm wrong on that, but I believe it's only the Optima Mini. You do get an ink window, fantastic italic nib. It's a really cool little pen, something that I like to travel with. Then I have a Talentum in black. In truth, I just bought this to get a nice nib from Iguana Cell when they had them for very low prices. So I believe I bought two of these ones with a flex nib, which is now gone, and then one with a 14 karat gold italic nib. Aurora Leonardo limited edition, and then we have the Monvizio Aurora, which is also a limited edition. And to complete the continent series, I actually have all of them. The Africa, I believe, was the first. This is the second one I've had, so I bought it twice, so this one's for sure staying in the collection. This has a italic nib, then I have the Asia, which I believe was second. This has a medium nib, although right now it has an international italic. America was next. This has a medium that was turned into a cursive italic. And then the Europa here, which has an extra fine nib. And finally, the Oceania, which has a BB nib, maybe my new favorite Aurora nib. This is the only complete series that I've ever collected apart from the Pilot custom impressions, though I don't have those pens anymore. This is a Aurora Superna, which is a really nice quality, large vintage pen with a fantastic nib. A couple that are in my pen cup right now that I haven't shown. This is a Montegrappa BG1, MP1, Verite, I can't remember. I'll put it up on the screen. Basically, Montegrappa is an OEM manufacturer, or has been in the past, for many different brands, and one of them was Michel Perchin, who made really, really high-end guilloche pens, and that's kind of this wave pattern we have here. So they had these leftover barrels, and they made them into this pen. Lost wax casting on the clip. It's all sterling silver. Has a really nice, soft 18 karat gold nib, and this strange sort of fluted section. This is a very heavy pen, or at least the body is. I can only imagine how heavy those Michel Perchin pens would have been. And then we have a platinum celluloid 3776. It's engraved and filled with silver. And I've got a formal italic on here done by Michael Masuyama from a double broad, or their C nib. And I have a smaller chest here. This is essentially just a smaller version of the case that we were going through at first. These ones I think you can still get on Amazon. I think they're like 80 bucks. I'll try to link them in the section below. Now here's just kind of a random variety of pens. I have a old faceted Vanishing Point, very nice pen. I have a old medium size Extra Lucians from the 30s. This pen, the cork in it needs to be redone. I'm just gonna leave it. I got this pen years ago at a really cool store in, I think it was Milan, Baruni, I can't remember what it's called, but very old traditional store. So I kind of have a memory there with that, but it's too expensive to get fixed. This is a Aurora Europa ballpoint pen. I know, yes, ballpoints, but for signing checks, for filling out paperwork, I do still use ballpoints. This is an Omas Jiva, my first ever Omas fountain pen. Huge disappointment. I think my first ever $300 pen. Birthday gift from my parents years ago. So, sentimental reasons. This is a Pilot 76, I think is what it's called. Don't know why that's in here. It's a Pilot Super. Really nice nib here. Very nice extra fine nib. Omas VS here. Or is it CS? I can't remember. CS. VS was the reversible nib version. Very nice sort of faceted design that goes into a round body. A really, really nice writer. And then here, this would be another pen that I bought twice. This is the Lamy Dialogue 1. They had this on consignment at Pen Shetta when I was there earlier last month, and I just had to have it. Richard Sapper design. Such a cool pen, Lamy Dialogue 1. Omas Tokyo, the designer of Memphis Milano, did this. I believe this was a pen from the 90s. It's got a really nice BB 18 karat gold nib. Just a cool pen. Caran d'Ache bicolor Le Mans ballpoint, yes. And then I have a Danny Trio ebonite pen. These were made for a pretty short period of time. It has the Yovo T nib before he moved over to Bach. Just a nice solid pen. Cartier Pasha. This was a gift from my mother years ago. It has my initials engraved on the back of it. Really well made rollerball pen. Aurora Talentum, slim with a extra fine nib. This is a pen I think I'm going to sell it. Trying to sell this pen. Every time I use it, I don't want to sell it though, so I'm trying not to use it. This is my Santini. I think they just call this a classic. It's basically the Libra design, but it's solid ebonite. It has a flexible cursive italic nib. Very nice pen, gotta do a review on that. Caran d'Ache Le Mans bicolor and Caran d'Ache Various, a rub racer with a oblique broad nib from Caran d'Ache. These are pens that are in my desk drawer right now. Omas Ajiva 556 with a gold-filled cap. This is, I believe, 60s. Really nice flexible nib. ST DuPont Olympio XL, the Vertigo 1 pattern, Chinese lacquer, really nicely made pen. This was that Louis Cartier that we already saw. This is a new pen for me. I got this for an amazing price at Penchetta. This was from an estate sale. This is the Omas T2 Paragon limited edition 75th anniversary pen. This pen is a wow, and it's a fantastic writer. Need a little bit more time with it before I do a full review, but fantastic pen. This is an Aurora Optima demonstrator with a broad nib. This is a Natuno NE 2.0. Really, really love this pen. This is the matte Pelagos color. Going to be doing a full review of this soon. It has a fantastic stub nib. Really love it. Pilot rather, Vanishing Point. This has a Richard Binder Italifine nib. Just phenomenal pen. This is a ballpoint. This is a ST DuPont. I think it's a D-line, but it's the Vitruvian Man pen with Chinese lacquer. It's really beautiful. This was a gift from my father. Really enjoy it. I gave him a Dunhill sidecar with like a tortoise lacquer years and years ago, and then a few years ago he gave me a very similar pen, which was this ST DuPont Vitruvian Man. Really nicely made ballpoint. And then I have some pens that were floating in pen cups in my office closet. Faber-Castell Hexo, Lamy Vista, Jinhao something or other, 9019. Not a bad pen. This is a Faber-Castell Grip fountain pen, which is actually pretty nice. Kaweco Sport, Moonman, I think this is called the P139 or something like that. Has a really nice nib. Actually, it's just a really nice pen all around. This is a Hongdian N6. Nice long blade nib with ebonite feed. Piston filler. Pretty nice pen. And then Pilot Pereira here. So these were just kind of in my office closet pen cup. Also in my office closet was this. I haven't even used it yet. A friend bought this. I was like, oh, do you want one? I was like, all right, sure. It's not the best looking pen, but I've wanted to review a Gravitas. This is, I don't know, do they call it the Bifrost or something? It's Fig Boot collaboration with Gravitas. It's a pretty cool pen, and I think very fairly priced, so looking forward to getting to use this, and we'll do a review of that shortly. And then there's a few more. I know this is a lot. These are some vintage pens. I don't use these anymore. Parker 51, this was I think the first ever, no, this was the second ever vintage pen I had after this Schaefer Snorkel. These all still work. This is a Parker, sorry. Is it a 45? I want to say it's called. It's, I think, used a cartridge converter. This is a Waterman that my brother gave me. This is a no-name pen that my brother gave me. And this is an Esterbrook that my brother gave me. All of these are nice pens. I probably need to revisit them again. I have an Aston leather 48 pen case, I want to say is what it is. We'll start at the top here. Well, I'll start on this side. Fountain Pen Revolution, I don't know, is it called the Himalaya or something? This has like their Ultraflex nib, which is really nice. This is a Cross Townsend. My sister gave me this. This is an American-made pen. It's a really nice pen. Another really nice pen is the Faber-Castell Emotion in their pure silver finish. This is just a tank. This is like a baby version of my Knight's pen. Like, it feels, the haptics are very similar to that Knight's pen. The Knight's pen is a little bit heavier. This is still though like 60 grams or something, really heavy. This is an Osprey pen with a zebra dip pen nib. I haven't really bothered to use this yet. We'll see what happens. Asvine J12, Ypsilon Deluxe Italic, 14 karat gold nib, Ypsilon Metal. This was a pen that I've had for a very, very long time. Was a gift from my grandparents years ago. Aurora Style in matte black, great pen. Joya Bella Vista in Pompeii acrylic. Joya Metis in Amaranto. Platinum Curidas. Delta Duna. This is a crazy nice pen, piston filler, Italian made, all, turned. Really, really nice pen. Going to be doing a review of one of these soon. Montegrappa Tarvisium in that crazy aluminite with a Dolce nib from Custom Nib Studio. This is, I think it's called is it a Platinum? I need to do a review of this one. Haven't even used this yet, to be honest. Then another one of my favorite pens, Clio Scribent Classic. Really enjoy using this. I've had to hide this pen away in here because I was using it too much. 2 Pilot Metropolitans, Pelikan M200 with Italic, Conway Stewart 55, really nice vintage pen, just a great writer. This is a Receive Mini or something. Receive is a strange company, French-made, nicely priced pens. And then if we go to this side, we have the Asvine C2000, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Lamy Vistas. I used these for doing ink tests, but then to be honest, I got frustrated with the Lamy converters, which I like the Lamy converter, but it's not quite as good as a standard international converter in my opinion, just in terms of durability and the seal that they have. So I kind of stopped using these, but they all have different nibs. Lamy Safari in red, Lamy Safari in black. This is my oldest Safari. I got this at the University of Freiburg when I was in college. This is a Lamy All-Star, but it's got a like EMR tip or whatever for a remarkable or some other kind of capacitative screen. Lamy Tipo, really love these capless roller balls. Lamy Ion fountain pen, Lamy 2000 multi-pen, Lamy 2000 ballpoint blackwood finish, Lamy 2000 double broad that I had turned into a formal italic, really nice pen, Lamy Studio, Lamy CC black, Lamy CP1, Lamy ABC, and then 2 Lamy accents. So that's all my fountain pens.